Hello friends, today we will learn the source of threats or security attack for Android application. In how many sources that we can have where the security attack can be attempted. That thing we will learn today. So before going there, let's understand what is threat. So threat is when a third party who should not have permission to modify or access any asset. That act of directly or indirectly attacking such assets is known as a threat. Let's understand our Android architecture. So Android applications uh, is placed in the top layer where we can see that home, contacts, phone, browser. Similarly, when we create any application, that falls under that first layer. Then we have application framework where we will have content provider, location manager, all those are provided by Android OS, which we use in our Android application. So we can say that only the first layer or topmost layer it belongs to Android applications. So application security belongs to that area. Means how we can restrict or give more secure application in that first layer, and the remaining three layers, that application framework, libraries or Linux kernel, those belong to device security. Let's take an example of an Android application. Let's think this is a picture manager, and the left side of the table where we have APK. Uh, if we extract the APK, we can see that Android manifest, XML, text file, resources. So that left portion is the application vendor information. When we open the app or launch the app, perform some operations, generally we found that some new directory structure is created inside our device where the data related to the application is stored, and that is stored inside the data slash data folder. Here we can see the data slash app. In that directory we have the picture manager.apk, but data slash data, there we have the directory where we will have the database or the files, whatever we use. Generally a typical application will have the cache related to web view, the database which we use inside the app. Also it will have the web view related database, files, libraries, and moreover shared preference also is stored there. And in that part there is chances we are storing some user information. So the rightmost layer or the rightmost section is users information. So this whole section comes under information asset. Similarly, there is functional asset where we can say, oh, there are some functions which Android OS provides to the applications. For example, Bluetooth, reading the contacts, NFC. So those are the functions which is provided by Android OS to our application. So that section is known as functional asset. So security attack or threat can happen to this information asset and also to the functional asset. So what is threat source? Threat source is the source of threat or attack. It it can be outside, from outside of your mobile. Also it can be inside your mobile. Let's take an example of typical application. In most of application, we make a network call to the server to fetch some information. So and also we store some user information in maybe SQLite database or shared preference. So this is one overall design of server client communication. In this case, there can be a middle layer or middle attacker who can be placed in between and who can act as a server for the smartphone or for the mobile. In that case, the mobile, instead of talking to the server, is talking to the attacker. So that layer, as you can see in the middle, so that comes in between our server and actual server and the client, means our mobile or smartphone. So the, uh, again that type of attacker can work as a client for the server. So it can steal the information whatever we are passing through network layer. And this is one example of man in middle attack. And this thing can happen in network layer or data transport layer. Then another attack that can happen via some malware, means as we can see that there can be, or application apk can be installed from outside sources apart from play store, or maybe let's think that from play store as well. So that apk can be a malware, and that can attack our application and steal the information. And that thing also, the major cause of that type of problem is because of some careless installation of some applications. And that means that comes under smartphone security area. The left side block is for smartphone security area, and that malware are present inside our smartphone but outside our application. And another type of threat can happen where by some files. So some attacking file can be presented in javascript format and doc format, where and that can be sent via mail or downloadable from any browser. And when we open that type of file, then only it can attack our application. So that attack is known as passive attack, because it has a script unless it is opened, it cannot attack and it cannot steal the information. And after we open that file, there is chance, then the script will run and it will try to steal some information. Then in Android, we know that we can use ADB debugging tool. So we can connect USB drive, debug an app that is generally used by the developers. Also, this ADB tool gives lots of flexibility to the Android OS. We can run lots of commands which will get executed in the Android OS. And similarly also we can install the applications, and that ADB debugging tool can attack the application if we want to do it. That means if the user debugging is made on, turned on, then anyone who have your device, they may introduce new attack. Then another threat happen from third party in the proximity of smartphone. Means generally we use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC. So those also can, or anyone can connect to our mobile using this Bluetooth or NFC and send some file or try to do some hack around. So that also can cause attack to our application or threat to our application. Overall, we can say all these attack comes under smartphone security area. So this is the overall diagram. Uh, what can be root cause of any attack in smartphone? One can be man in middle attack. Another can be from proximity area, that Bluetooth attack or NFC attack. Then USB debugging with ADB command, and then another layer will be the download file or which can cause the passive attack, and malware which is installed by the user. So these are known as source threads, means source of threads for any smartphone. Thank you.